Aloha mai kako. I just wanted to welcome you back. Hope that you were able to hear all of the 20 words that I shared with you without rewinding, without taking notes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is repeat the 20 words that I had you listen to. And what I'd like you to do is if you get the word or you wrote the word that I put down, just go ahead and check it off. Okay. Sand, shells, waves, sun, sand, wind, seagulls, sand, waves, salt, sunburn, water, sand chair, drink, chair, swimsuit, summer, hot, fun, swimmer. So go ahead and tally up your score and see how well you did. There's a lot of repeats, so you really wouldn't have all 20 unless you were able to write it one after the other. Okay. So how'd you do? So here's the questions I want to ask you. Was it difficult to remember the words? And why do you think it was, if you were listening? And then, did you have words on your list that I did not mention? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that you had words that wasn't even on the list? Here's one of the things. When you're listening, your mind automatically starts making connections or assumptions of what is being said. So your mind will add words to your list that are connected to the topic. So many of my students, every semester, these are the words that are common that they come up with that I didn't read. Air, seashell, sunscreen, beach, swim. So like I mentioned, your mind already starts formulating a picture, and then that's why you'll assume that that's what's being said. So when you're listening to the customer, because we're all fixers of some sort, most of the time is before the person even gets the problem out, you already go, oh, I've heard that problem before, and this is what I did. Or, oh, I know this situation, and then this is what I'm going to do. However, all you want to do is just listen to what is being said. Okay? So when you're listening, there's also speaking or talking. So what's the difference between them? So when you speak to someone, it's tend to be used for a one-sided conversation. So for example, she spoke to her employees, she spoke to her students. So it's more one-sided. It's similar to what we're talking about here in this video, is I'm speaking to you because I don't have the opportunity to receive feedback from you. And then talk implies a conversation or discussion between two or more people. So everyone was talking when he walked into the room. Do you see that there's a difference? So the same thing, when you're speaking with a guest, that means or a customer, that means you're speaking to them. It's all one-sided, or they're speaking to you. But when you're talking to them, it's a dialogue. Similar to when we did our mock interviews, it's a back and forth. So in customer service, it's really important to listen to the person you are talking with, right? It's a two-way communication. Because what happens during that, similar to what happened during the mock interview, is self-disclosure starts to happen, which means the deliberate revealing of information that is significant and would not otherwise be known by others. So until you can get your customer or your client to disclose what they're looking for or what the issue is, you really can't begin to help them. So that's why listening is really important. This is an olelo no eao, or as I like to say, it's their proverbs or wise saying. So in Hawaiian, it's nana kamaka, observe with your eyes, ho'olohe kapepeao, listen with your ears, and pa'akawaha, shut your mouth. So if you do all of those, that's when you're going to begin to learn. And we're born with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. So that should tell you something. Okay. Active listening. To show when we are listening, we make eye contact. We smile, nod, and we lean in. So if you're a customer or yourself, when you're talking with each other, if you lean in, then that means you're active. If somebody you're talking to and all of a sudden they lean back, that means they're pulling away from the situation. So it's really important to watch for body language. And then paraphrase or clarify. And then take notes and ask questions. One of the reasons why I jumbled those 3 together is if you remember during the mock interview that I was taking notes and then I asked questions and then I would paraphrase or I would ask for more clarification. That means that I was actively listening. And then to show that we're listening, make sure you remove all the distractions, whether it's your cell phone or paperwork in front of you or a coworker or anything. So you want to remove all those distractions and even the self-talk that's going on in your head. And then understand the language. Yeah, we're talking about whether it's English, Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, but really don't forget the body language, how the person is standing or presenting itself. Without even realizing, you're able to make a judgment just based on the visual cues. Okay? Give positive feedback. Respond back to them. Oh, I understand that you're frustrated. And then remember what they said. Oh, I can understand that you may be frustrated about what happened to you. I don't find that acceptable. And then repeat what they said. And then by repeating it, you let the listener know that they know that you were heard, they were heard. Okay, so they knew that they were heard. So if you didn't have a chance to look at the selective attention test, take a few minutes to go back to step 3 and watch it, and then come back to this. And if you did, great. So what that talks about, it's inattentional blindness. So we consciously see only a small subset of our visual world. And when our attention is focused on one thing, we fail to notice other unexpected things around us, right? So the most effective cloaking device is the human mind. So if you notice when you watched that dancing bear, because we were so focused on counting that we didn't see it. And then when it was brought to our attention, and then it was like, wow, how did we miss that? So the same thing happens, that you have the ability to see 360 degrees in front of you, but your mind is able to hide a lot of things that's going around you. So most of the successful people I've known are the ones who do more listening than talking. Okay, so thank you for attending tonight. And I look forward to discussing chapter 6 with you, which is customer service recovery and behavior. Mahalo.